Perry Patterson, former college quarterback of the Cuse, who went on to play in Europe, professional football in Europe, and went to a few NFL camps, as he's describing. So you're at Buffalo, Philadelphia. Who was the third team, Perry?
And Atlanta was the third team. I finished off my summer in Atlanta, and that was a year that Vic was kind of going through the whole thing, whether or not he was going to play that year.
Was that after he was already charged or something, or was that before that?
What's that?
Was that when he got into trouble with the law, or was that before that?
No, this is actually during the process.
Okay.
I think he wasn't allowed to participate in anything, and Bobby Petrino was the head coach, and they wasn't really looking to bring in a younger guy because they wasn't sure what was going to happen with Michael Vick, so they ended up just signing Byron Leftwich that year as their emergency guy, and that wasn't a good fit for me either because they already had a younger quarterback from the year before that they drafted later on in the the 7th or 6th round, I think. So, yeah, so it was pretty crazy. That summer was pretty crazy for me. But
so, by the way, I mean, you sound like you got a very positive attitude about the whole thing. But I just ask you, just as a fellow human being, I mean, how hard is it not to be bitter when, like as you said, you felt that compared to Edwards in Buffalo, you could have done just as well or even better, but he was the draft pick and they put the money into him. And it's like, and you think about it, it's like, man, if you could have been in the NFL, at least got the same shot he did for a few years, and it's like, you'd have a lot. Let's face it, you'd have a lot of money in your bank account, but you don't quite look at it that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to because now you're dealing with real life, so. Maybe for the first couple years, I think it was just really hard on me where it was hard to watch. I stopped watching NFL Network and look at the acquisitions, who was getting signed at quarterback and things like that. That was a little tough for me, but I mean, I just learned to live with it. I mean, I'm a real spiritual person, and I just figured it was just something that God was trying to teach me, and I really took a lot from those camps. I mean, I brought it with me through the arena leagues, which I played well, and I brought it over to Europe, and it's just something I started something. I'm just trying to finish it. I mean, a lot of guys in my position probably would have gave up right after that summer camp, but I knew what I was able to do, so I just tried to just take a different route, and guys like. I mean, I admire guys like Donovan, but guys like Kurt Warner are actually my inspiration because he wasn't a high draft pick. I mean, he had to work his way up from the arena leagues and things like that. So, I mean, if my thinking was if they can do it, I mean, why couldn't I? So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, here I am, 3 or 4 years later, and I'm taking steps in the right direction, but I still feel like I have. A little bit of ways to go. So.
All right, now you're going to be playing. Are you still playing arena football?
No. Last year was my last year playing arena.
Okay.
When I signed with a CFL agent named Fred Weinrock, and he suggested that being outdoors was the better thing for me. So, guys, the film would be.
More relevant?
Will be more appealing. Yeah,
Yeah.
More relevant and more appealing to CFL teams or even NFL teams when they see me playing on the big field and making the big field throws and things like that. So I just decided to go to Europe and play for Coach Ritchie. And, yeah, we just finished our season maybe three weeks ago. And, yeah, so now we're in contact with some teams and things like that. So now we're just waiting for the right opportunity for something to open up, and then we'll try to get our foot in the door and go from there. So.
Well, it'd be great if you could get a shot at the CFL with Perry Patterson. Played college ball at the Cuse as a quarterback and has played pro football in Europe in the Arena League. And kind of ironic, Perry, but just it's about a week ago we had a guy you'll know quite well on the air on our show here, Diamond Ferry, who's done quite well with the Montreal Alouettes.
Yeah, King of Diamonds. Yeah, that's my boy. Okay.
Yeah, so he's done nicely. Have you ever had any chance to talk with him at any point in time?
No, not at all. But we actually had the same agent. But I haven't spoken to Diamond since he left college. But now he was a great player there at Syracuse, and he's a great player now. So
yeah, he's done
he's
well
one
for
of those
himself.
guys that you can just put him anywhere. I mean, and he'll give you something at every position. So he did the same for us at Syracuse. So I'm really not surprised of his success over there in Montreal right now.
So aside from your agent, and you know, I sure hope you get a shot at the CFL. I mean, there's been other actually this is way before your time, but another SU quarterback played up here. Marvin Graves came up for a couple of years. Of course, he preceded Donovan there.
Yeah, I knew about Marvin Graves going up there, but I don't know if how much did he play? Did he play a lot or?
I think a couple of years. He went around. He played in Saskatchewan. He had a run in Toronto and in Hamilton. So he sort of moved around a little bit. Had one pretty good year in Toronto, and then I think he was he worked with Henry Burris, who now has for a long time been at Calgary. But he and Henry were the quarterbacks at Saskatchewan. That would have been around 1996. And then I can't remember where Marvin. He might have finished with Saskatchewan, but I think he played for three teams: Toronto, Hamilton, and Saskatchewan. I don't know quite what he's doing now. And I think even the runner-up for the Heisman Trophy, I think Don McPherson was up here briefly for about a year. That's way back, though. That's 1987 or 88. But we'll put it this way, like how long do you feel you can go on and still like hope that, you know, God willing, you'll be the next Kurt Warner?
Man, I just turned 27. I'm an avid runner. So my body feels, you know, it's still in that 24 to 23-year-old mode and how I feel and things like that. So, I mean, as a quarterback, I probably, you know, guys play to 40 now, 40, you know, so.
Well,
But at some point, I don't know. It's hard to say. It depends how things go. I mean, if like right now, I'm going back to school to finish up my master's and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So. As other things start to develop outside of football, I mean, if there's something comes along where I can't pass it up and I can't chase my dream anymore, then that'll be. But right now, I don't really have any kind of time frame. I'm just kind of just going with the flow and just keep on. I'm just going to keep on grinding it out until I feel like it's just time to just move on to different ventures and things like that. So
yeah,
I haven't really put any kind of time frame on it or anything.
Well, for whatever it's worth, I mean, you know, I graduated there 81 from the Newhouse School, and you know, I went
cool.
Yeah,
cool.
so I had an interruption in my career for almost 2 years, and now I'm back in business. So I mean, you know, but you know better than I didn't play football. I mean, you did, and you know, like the game of football is about being knocked down and getting back up. So I don't have to tell you, already know that. But you know, one guy I found is a very nice guy. I got to know him when he was with New Orleans. Now he's back coaching there. Is Doug Marrone. And you know, I don't know if you've spoken with Coach Marrone, but he certainly is. You know, he's a well-connected guy, and he's a hell of a nice guy too. So I don't know if, in terms of your contacts and connections within the school, outside of the school, if you know, if your network you feel might be able to help you get a shot somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, Marrone's not too familiar with me. He's. I mean, I didn't play under him. I met him last, 2009. I think we had some conversations and things like that. But I would never. It's tough because he didn't coach me. We didn't win and lose games or anything like that.
Sure.
My guy was Greg Robinson, you know. So he did everything he could to try to get people, you know, just to look my way and things like that. So I don't think I would ever bother Coach Marrone about that.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, Perry, I'll keep my fingers crossed for you. I sure hope, I admire your determination, and God willing, maybe, you know, you'll become the next Kurt Warner, and I don't have to tell you, you know, you've endured some tough times, and, you know, you deserve a big pat on the back for not quitting and not giving up. Everybody admires that, and I sure hope you're that next story. But, you know what, we'll get back in touch with you, and hopefully you'll have some good news. And regardless of what happens, I admire, you know, the fact you got the balls to hang in there. Good for you.